Good morning everyone, welcome to another daily vlog from my commute to the gym to train Muay Thai. Today's vlog is about gear acquisition syndrome and why it sometimes is okay. Hello everyone, my name is Boris Mono. I'm a professional film editor and I have a YouTube channel that is all about reviewing bags, everyday carry, travel related stuff, tech stuff. But this channel, my vlog channel, is about daily vlogs where I kind of tell you about how to start a YouTube channel, not necessarily how to grow a YouTube channel, but how to start a channel without the fear of, is this a good video or not? Or yeah, all about content creation and taking you on a journey of me creating daily vlogs. And really important, I am in the car on the highway in a traffic jam, but it is really important, do not text and drive. I intentionally switch off the display of my DJI Pocket 3 so I don't get distracted. I somewhat know where the lens is pointing, and so please excuse if I don't hold any eye contact with you or look into the lens, because obviously I want to stay safe and I want everyone around me to be safe as well. Now, gear acquisition syndrome, or short GAS, is the syndrome of always wanting to buy new camera gear. It's basically a terminology of something that is very well known in the camera world or content creation world. I'm not sure if gear acquisition syndrome also is a term that is known, and I don't know, in tech or in computer industry, don't know really, but many people inside this YouTube space, camera space, talk a lot about GAS, gear acquisition syndrome. And in my previous video, I talked a little bit about that I have GAS, I want to buy a new camera, and why you shouldn't kind of be victim of GAS, because usually the gear that we already have, be it a camera or a phone, which have really good camera tech nowadays, is good enough. Especially for those of you who are beginning, the tech usually is even better than the knowledge and the skills that you have. So there is no point in buying new gear if you don't have the skills, and most of the time, even if you have the skills, you don't need a new camera, because what the most important part about starting a YouTube channel is actually practicing using the camera, practicing talking in front of the camera, getting comfortable in front of the camera. So there is no point in actually investing heavily into new camera gear. However, it is fun, and I really want to acknowledge that. And I just want to show you a short little reel that I made for my main channel, for a review for a motorcycle helmet and a review for a piece of item that I will just mention in just a second. So here's the short reel that I made for that YouTube video. Alright, and as you can tell, or I don't know if you can tell, but I had so much fun with that video. I've never used a drone in my life before because I was always hesitant of using a piece of equipment like that in public. Because I'm already a little bit self-conscious when filming myself with a DJI Pocket 3, for example. because I don't want people to know that I'm filming myself, and I don't want to be perceived as an influencer, if that makes sense. So using a drone in public would be even more weirder. And then I always thought that using a drone would be very difficult and cumbersome, and then at some point it would just lay around. Now, I had the opportunity to test this new drone, the Hover Air X1 Pro something. And first and foremost, I was really happy to get the opportunity to test that. And then I noticed, oh, this has so many AI features. I don't need to fly this drone. I don't need to control it by myself, which, as I just previously mentioned, was one of the things where I was a little bit hesitant about, because I don't know how to use that. I don't want to include some boring drone footage of my garden or whatever, which would not kind of help the story of the video that I was filming. So I never knew how to utilize the drone properly, but now seeing these AI features, and as you were able to tell in this reel, I just started the drone, told it, okay, follow me on my motorcycle, and it was able to do so. Granted, I crashed the drone once. It flew against a light pole, but it survived, and I continued filming. And that was really impressive, actually. So maybe follow my main channel if you want to see the review of that drone. I was really impressed by that, and it was so easy to use that piece of equipment to film myself, especially on a motorcycle, especially with, I would say I was riding like, I don't know, 30 kilometers per hour or something. It has a max flying speed of 40 kilometers per hour, so a pretty impressive piece of equipment. And I was amazed by the ease of use, by the simplicity and the durability. And this is not the review. I'm just want to kind of illustrate how much fun I had with this piece of equipment, and I was enjoying myself filming these videos, or not these videos, but that video. And I'm looking forward to review that drone much more, and more importantly, to learn the ins and outs of using a drone, because as I said, I've never used a drone. I've never included the creative thought process of using a drone for any of my videos or my reviews. So that is something where I'm kind of utilizing a new piece of equipment to learn new stuff, to kind of spark some untapped creativity into my workflow. And that's why I kind of want to advocate and kind of contradict my previous video about not falling victim of gas. Our lives are so difficult anyways. We're at the brink of a new war. We have 2 wars going on in Europe. Economy is terrible, and that's also important. I will come back to that in just a second. Life is so difficult and so stressful at the moment. If you have the funds, and that is very important, especially in this economy, if you have the funds to buy new equipment, if you think hard about, will you use that equipment? Will this benefit you in terms of learning something new, learning a new skill, like me in this case, learning how to utilize a drone? Then I would say go for it. Then buy that piece of equipment if you get enjoyment out of that, and more importantly, if you learn something with using that piece of gear. And if you have the funds, then yes, then it's totally okay to have gear acquisition syndrome. Then it's totally okay to invest in that piece of gear. But again, only do it if you are really sure that it's not gathering dust, if you're sure that you can learn something, and more importantly, if it doesn't put a huge dent into your liquidity of your budget, if you don't burn a hole into your savings, then yes, go with the urge of gear acquisition syndrome. But only if you take those things into consideration. That is really, really important. Again, if it brings you joy. I mean, it's the same thing with any hobby. I'm a huge Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons fan. I'm going to Muay Thai training at a gym where I have to drive about 20 minutes. There is a gym close to my home. You could argue, hey, this is money wasted, Bo. Just train closer to your home. Or, hey, just train at home. You don't need a gym. Or you don't need to play Magic the Gathering or Dungeons and Dragons. But that is my passion. That brings me joy. Muay Thai and training with the people in that gym is so much fun. It helps my mental health. It is important to me to switch off my brain. In these times where there's so much trouble, we need to find stuff that brings us joy, even if it means it costs something, even if it means you need to spend money and invest in yourself because it brings joy to you. Then it is okay, as long as you don't kind of risk your livelihood by not being able to pay rent or whatever it might be. That is so important to also take into consideration. But it is good, or it is okay, not good, it is okay to spend money on the things that bring you joy in dark times like we have now. Maybe you live in a part of the world where you don't have dark times. Still, there are things that worry you. Still, we all have troubles in our lives. And then it is okay to invest money in stuff that brings you joy. Alright, that was my short little vlog about giving in to gas. And maybe check out the video in where I tell you about all of the negatives about the DJI Pocket 3. Watch it up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here, and don't forget to subscribe by clicking the button up here, and I see you in the next video. Thank you very much.